that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
She came home.
Carlisle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlisle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlisle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlisle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlisle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlisle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlisle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
I've never seen a place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about the stabbing.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but
You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle
I
inside.
was in what I didn't talk about.
What did I tell you? You sensible. You have stuff in your excellency. I just need one.
I know.
Considering
I
the
guess I
fact
thought she
spotted
was
no
going to
less
read
than
into
two
them and
routes to
freak
get
out.
inside the house,
Say I must have done
unseen.
something to
We know what we're
provoke
doing,
her.
sir. Don't
Shit,
worry about
man.
that. Caroline really did a number on you.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
Hi there.
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madam's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all.
All right there.
So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
This is very useful information, 47. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
How tall are you? You could be a model, you know.
Right.
I'm serious. I have a friend who's a model. She says that's the sweet, sweet life. You should come and stay at my place in London. We can have her come over. Give you some tips.
I'm quite happy here, thanks.
Patrick
I
Carlisle.
told Patrick off.
Can you tell
I'm not
me where you
interested
were
in someone
yesterday
who
evening?
bosses you around like that.
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary tops himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here.
Sir, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you're a little bit close to me.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Well, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Gregory, don't say more to that music.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me. Hello.
When he can play like that, that music makes my heart soar.
You and me both.
Did Alice tell you what Emma did when she arrived?
Tell me.
She turned up this morning, asking Madam.
I can feel the hair on my neck stand.
Quite the poet. But you're right.
That Emma woman is a tad too busy for my taste.
What is it?
The door to the left of the office. I think you know.
Not her rearranging the photos in the sitting. I think Madam and
Party just relaxed for a minute.
And that solicitor upstairs, why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are Mother's favorite kind of people.
Can't remember ever having a family event without one tucked away in a room somewhere. Due diligence always trumps family.
I think he's here to cut us from her will.
Very ridiculous.
Imagine the scandal if the firstborn son didn't pick up the torch. That would never happen.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
Find out that the vote was notarized. But how the hell did that happen? No, we all signed it. I gave it to him in person. He said he got it notarized the very same day.
Right, listen. You go to their office and ask for Cheryl. She's the best they've got. Tell her you want to see the records. Don't take no for an answer. And call me as soon as you've got them. Thank you. We'll get to the bottom of this.
We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looks everywhere.
Got it. No power, no work.
So, Madame Carlyle wants a picture taken. If you were to assist with the missing fuse, I'm sure the portrait would be one for the ages.
He expects the family photos to be done any moment now.
Fine.
This shoot to happen,
I need it to be perfect.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
Poor thing.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, it's all too much.
Yeah, we'll all need a vacation when this is over.
Sir?
I'll get to the bottom of this.
I'll be right here.
Huh? What?
I'm not cleaning that up.
Don't move. I'll go check.
Okay, stay safe.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Life can be tough sometimes.
And that detective asked to come here. Madame Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to stick around?
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Painkillers. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
Gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
Oh, you mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
Zachary found dead upstairs today. Death is everywhere. I never thought of it that way. Oh, God. It's such a big responsibility having a baby. I have to protect it, right? How do you even do that? I can't do that.
You'll be fine, Robbie. Kids are great.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
That American lawyer, check his travel documents. It all checked out.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
I'll hold. Yes, I'm still here. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right. I'll double check and get back to you.
Well?
Well?
Well, what did you find? You'd better well have a damn good reason for not being here in person. Christ! You really don't have a clue, do you? I'm talking about that weasel, Arthur Edwards. Can we get back what he stole from me?
So far, it looks like we can't. All the transfers of funds and privileges I've been through have been bulletproof. He intercepted the arrangements our office worked years to put in place.
That's why Don Yates should be here. He made the arrangements. He should bloody well be the one to clean up this whole mess.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Don't kill the messenger, Alexa. Please, continue your efforts, Mr. Ford.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
I received a bulk token from the Milton Fitzpatrick London Bank. Did I understand correctly that I should give it to Rebecca in case of your death?
Exactly. She holds the other one. I want her to have the file on Arthur Edwards if I die.
You're not fearful she will be in trouble, she?
She will start digging when she realizes things don't add up, inevitably getting her in trouble. I'd rather she knew who she's up against. She's clever and resourceful. Who knows, maybe she'll be able to hit him where it hurts. But I don't want her to get involved prematurely. Hopefully she'll never have to get involved at all. You faced great obstacles too, I know. We will persevere. It is my duty to make that happen.
I've received more information about your situation.
Mr. Ford, we can't talk here. Go back to your office. I will be there shortly. What's the verdict, Mr. Ford? Undoubtedly, some of my assets must be safe.
No, everything is gone.
Thornbridge Manor, surely.
That too.
But that's not possible. I'll kill him, I swear, if it's the last thing I do. Thank you, Mr. Ford. That will be all.
I understand, but you need to talk to Anthony. Calm down.
I should probably... right.
Yeah, what you said.
Sorry.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
I don't like the fact he's not another knuckle-dragging rugby washout. Oh, excuse me.
bursts, I believe.
In my own time, Gregory. I'll wait till everybody's here. Find out what that was.
No worries.
Mr. Fernsby might. All right, later. My parents would hate him. Okay. Hello? Is anyone there? Who made that sound?
I want to keep this short. I know you have a lot of questions. Some I will answer now. The rest will have to wait. First, Zachary's sudden death is a great tragedy, but also a great inconvenience, as it happened just now. I'm dealing with the situation in a discreet and efficient way, and I expect your cooperation in all related matters. Secondly, the arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am still alive. I expect you all to act your part. Last, as you all know, I have a lot on my plate and need to focus on sorting everything out, so please do not disturb me with your petty concerns. You are all adults, and as part of the elite, you will eventually have to deal with difficult situations like this. It comes late for most of you, but this is a chance for you to show what you are made of. That will be all.
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
Quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
With so many of us in, you'll get everything we can for the next few months.
Can you just stand up, please? Maybe I should ask her out. Get to know her in a personal way.
You could try. Rose told me Rebecca had a really cool birthday. One fine man represents no man at all. So you've got your work cut out for you. It's just typical that Annie gets involved with online. I mean, but work. That's all I do.
Frank is fucking. I don't believe for a second that
Emma Carlyle in the greenhouse. How curious.
Last thing I need.
Worried about how things will be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over.
Oh! You startled me. I was just, I don't know, thinking about Zachary. He spent most of his life in here with these plants. Not much of a life, is it? Well, anyway, I'll be outside if you need me. If you'd excuse me.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby. Unless you think there are more secrets to uncover.
Oh, you startled me. I was just, I don't know, thinking about Zachary. He spent most of his life in here with these plants. Not much of a life, is it? Well, anyway, I'll be outside if you need me. If you'd excuse me.
Now Zachary won't get to see the rhododendron periginium blossom. They were his favorites.
Oh, come on, Oliver. I understand why you're so upset. It's such a shock to all of us.
I had planned to offer her comfort, but now that Madame Carlyle isn't in after all, I know we're not supposed to talk about
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller.
I'm ready to present my
comforter or
conclusion
not.
to Madame
Should I ask her
Carlyle.
to marry
Very
me?
well.
What
If
should
you'll
I
follow
do?
me, sir.
And then this big funeral thing tomorrow. Last thing I need.
I remember how it was with the first one. The ones that come after certainly are a lot less of a worry.
Hi.
How are you?
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
Your niece, Emma Carlyle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
And your niece. Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlyle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost, marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlyle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlyles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father. All heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Edwards, the Constant. But how do you... Oh, I see. I expected you might show up. But to kill me, not help me. But I've been wrong on so many things lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it. I don't suppose I could convince you to deal with my daughter-in-law now you're here. I would like to see her dead. No? What a shame. I'll have to see to it some other way, then. The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope you get Edwards and make him
Sir.
hurt. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
Get to know someone who's worked in their home, right? Well, I guess so. I never thought about it that way.
I'm thinking about Rebecca. I'd really like to show her my work. I just need a good deal. What would you say if you wanted to get her attention?
Oh, well, I don't know her that well. She doesn't live here, and when she's here, she's always really busy. Always on the phone, or reading papers, or emails.
Such a bunch of old junk. Must be 100 years old at least. I don't know how the Brits can stand it.
Make way, people! Gotta find a bathroom right now!
What? That looks bad. You okay?
I'll never get how the rich do this. All this fuss for a pretend funeral. And why not do a photo?
I doubt that's true, though. No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlyle's office was repaired last week. He had to carry some heavy bolt to the top floor. He complained about back pain for the entire weekend.
Well, that's just bonkers. Why lie about a trip to Denton? Who does that?
For harmers, perhaps. Seriously, Denton?
Sounds like the power's back up. Why don't you take a picture to test it?
It works. I'm ready for the shoot.
Perfect. I'll call the family down now then.
Excellent, 47. Madame Carlyle is on her way down for the family photo shoot. Let's see if any memorable moments will play out in front of the camera.
Right ahead, please.
How are you doing, Patrick? Can't wait for this weekend rain. You know, you're witnessing something quite special. Your grandmother putting on such a show. Such a joke stuff.
Edward, you can't let Mother get to you like this.
You've always been immune to her. How do you do it?
I'm the youngest. I guess I just flew under the radar when it came to her attention.
I don't think so. She really respects you.
Down by the fountain.
If you just stopped craving her approval. You're nearly 50, Edward.
I know. I'm such a loser.
But you're not. You're a professor, you're artistic, you've got your music. I mean, that's really something.
It's not exactly expanding the Carlyle empire, though. But thanks. That does help a little.
Hi, good afternoon.
It's just in front of the fountain.
This place is...
I expect you to be efficient. I have a lot to see to today.
I'll do my best.
Right, get in position. Let's get this over with. There's a puddle of water here. Well, never mind. Let's just get this done, shall we?
Chin up, Edward. No one wants to look at that long face.
You're such an idiot, Gregory.
I'm fine, Rebecca.
Fine? You look like a nervous wreck.
Stop bickering.
Well, Mother, you certainly know how to lighten the mood.
Damn it, damn it.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.